You can't be serious, I said, staring at my sister-in-law, Amanda, across her pristine marble kitchen counter. She adjusted her designer cardigan with a self-satisfied smirk, the same one she'd worn at every family gathering where she'd managed to make me feel small. Actually, I am, she replied, her voice dripping with fake concern. Emma's birthday party is going to be, well, sophisticated. We've hired entertainment, ordered custom decorations. I just don't think your children would appreciate it properly. You understand, right? My daughters, Lily and Sarah, aged 8 and 6, were upstairs playing with their cousin Emma. Their laughter echoed down the staircase, making Amanda's words even more bitter. They're her cousins, I protested, keeping my voice level despite the anger building in my chest. Emma invited them herself. They've been talking about this party for weeks. Amanda sighed, examining her manicured nails. Emma's young. She doesn't understand the social implications. This isn't just a birthday party, Kate. It's an event. Half of my husband's law firm will be here, not to mention the parents from Emma's private school. I thought about the handmade birthday cards my girls had spent hours creating, now tucked carefully in my purse. They'd used their best markers, covered them with hearts and stars, and even practiced their spelling to make sure Emma's name was perfect. The girls have been nothing but well-behaved at every family gathering, I said, fighting to keep my composure. They're not some unruly. Oh please, Amanda cut me off with a wave of her hand. Need I remind you about Thanksgiving? When they got excited and knocked over the appetizer table. That was an accident. They apologized and helped clean up. And Christmas, when they couldn't sit still during the family photo session. They're children, Amanda. Normal, active children. While this party isn't for normal children, she said, emphasizing the word like it was something distasteful. It's for well-behaved ones, the kind who understand proper etiquette. Just then, Emma came bounding down the stairs, my girls right behind her. All three had bright smiles on their faces, completely unaware of the tension below. Aunt Kate, Emma exclaimed, rushing over to hug me. Are Lily and Sarah coming to my party? I want to show them the bounce house we're getting. Amanda's smile turned sharp. Actually, sweetie, we need to talk about that. Aunt Kate was just telling me the girls can't make it. They have other plans. The look of disappointment on my daughters' faces made my heart ache. Lily, always the more sensitive one, immediately looked down at her shoes. Sarah's lower lip trembled slightly. But Mom, Emma protested, you said I could invite whoever I wanted. Plans change, darling, Amanda said smoothly. Now, why don't you go show the girls out? Mommy needs to finish the party arrangements. As my daughters gathered their things, Emma trailing behind them with confusion written all over her face, Amanda's smirk returned. Don't take it personally, Kate. Some children just aren't ready for certain social situations. Maybe next year, if they've improved. I wanted to argue, to point out the cruelty of her actions, but I wouldn't give her the satisfaction. Instead, I smiled, a calm, knowing smile that made her smirk falter slightly. You're right, Amanda, I said, my voice steady. Some people just aren't ready for certain situations. Thank you for making that so clear. She blinked, clearly thrown by my composed response. She'd expected tears, anger, or pleading, anything but this quiet confidence. As we walked to the car, I heard Sarah sniffle. Mommy, why can't we go to Emma's party? Did we do something wrong? I knelt down, pulling both my girls close. No, sweethearts. You didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes adults make decisions that aren't fair, but that's about them, not you. But we made cards and everything, Lily whispered, pulling the carefully crafted birthday cards from my purse. I know, baby, and they're beautiful. Tell you what, why don't we have our own special day next weekend? We can do anything you want. Their faces brightened slightly, but I could still see the hurt in their eyes. As we drove home, I thought about the envelope sitting on my desk, the one I'd been waiting for the right moment to share. Maybe that moment had just arrived. Looking in the rearview mirror at my precious girls, I felt a surge of protective pride. Amanda thought she'd won, that she'd put us in our place. But she had no idea what was coming. Sometimes the best response to cruelty isn't anger or revenge, it's success. What Amanda didn't know was that while she'd been planning her sophisticated party, my Lily had been achieving something truly remarkable. Something that would make Amanda's social posturing look exactly as petty as it was. I watched my daughters whisper and giggle in the backseat, their resilience already showing through the disappointment, and smiled. Next week would be interesting indeed. The following week passed in a blur of activity. I kept Lily's news quiet even as we went through our usual family routines. Every time my phone buzzed with a message from Amanda, always something passive-aggressive about how sorry she was that we couldn't attend Emma's exclusive celebration. I felt a quiet sense of anticipation growing. On Friday afternoon, I picked up the girls from school earlier than usual. Lily clutched her backpack tightly, practically bouncing with excitement. "Can I wear my special dress, Mom?" she asked as we drove home. "The blue one Grandma gave me." "Of course, sweetie. This is your big day." Sarah piped up from the backseat. "Can I dress up too? I want to look pretty for Lily's thing." "Absolutely." I smiled at them in the rearview mirror. "We're all getting dressed up today." As we got ready at home, my phone kept lighting up with notifications. Amanda had been posting a steady stream of photos showcasing her elaborate party preparations, crystal champagne flutes for the adults, custom-made party favors, and an ice sculpture that probably cost more than my monthly mortgage payment. "Look how tasteful everything is," she'd captioned one photo. "This is what a proper children's party looks like." I put my phone away and focused on helping Lily with her hair. She sat perfectly still as I wove small braids into her honey blonde hair, adding tiny blue ribbons that matched her dress. "Are you nervous, baby?" I asked, catching her eye in the mirror. She shook her head, then paused. "Maybe a little. What if Aunt Amanda is right? What if I'm not proper enough?" My hands stilled. "Look at me, Lily." I turned her chair so we were face to face. "Your Aunt Amanda doesn't determine your worth. What you've accomplished, that's all you, and it's amazing." The doorbell rang, and Sarah raced to answer it. "Grandma's here," she shouted. My mother-in-law, Helen, swept in wearing an elegant navy dress, her silver hair perfectly styled. Unlike her daughter Amanda, Helen had always treated my girls with genuine love and affection. "There's my star," she exclaimed, hugging Lily. "Are you ready for your big moment?" Lily nodded, her confidence returning. Helen had been instrumental in encouraging Lily's talent, spending countless hours with her when others might have dismissed her efforts as childish or unimportant. As we drove to the venue, I received another text, this time from my husband. "Mark, everything's set up. You won't believe who showed up." The local arts center was already bustling with activity when we arrived. Families streamed through the doors, many holding bouquets of flowers. My heart swelled with pride as we walked inside. The lobby was transformed, with spotlights illuminating dozens of paintings and drawings arranged on elegant display stands. In the center, a large banner proclaimed, "Young Artists Achievement Awards, celebrating tomorrow's masters." Lily's grip on my hand tightened as we approached the main gallery. Through the glass doors, I could see a crowd gathering, including several familiar faces. And there, standing near the entrance with identical shocked expressions, were Amanda and her husband James. "What are they doing here?" Sarah whispered. Helen smiled knowingly. "James is on the Arts Center's board of directors. They're required to attend major events." I might have forgotten to mention whose work was being featured today. Amanda's face when she spotted us was priceless. She was wearing what had to be an expensive new dress, clearly intended for her daughter's party later that day. But for once, she didn't look confident or superior. She looked completely thrown off balance. "Kate, what are you?" She trailed off as her eyes landed on Lily in her beautiful blue dress, then darted to the exhibition program in her hands. Before she could say anything else, the center's director stepped up to the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this year's Young Artists Achievement Awards. We're here to celebrate extraordinary talent, and this year, we have something truly special. For the first time in our program's history, our featured artist is just 8 years old." The crowd murmured in appreciation. Amanda's eyes widened as realization began to dawn. "Please help me welcome our youngest ever recipient of the Rising Star Award, and the creator of the remarkable collection you see before you, Lily Mitchell." The applause was thunderous. Lily, my beautiful, talented, unruly daughter, walked up to the podium with perfect poise. She needed a small step stool to reach the microphone, but her voice was clear and confident as she thanked everyone for coming. As Lily spoke about her art and what inspired her, I watched Amanda's face cycle through various expressions: shock, disbelief, and finally, something that looked almost like shame. Her perfectly planned party, with its ice sculptures and champagne flutes, suddenly seemed very small compared to this moment. The director guided everyone through the exhibition, stopping at each of Lily's pieces to discuss her technique and vision. For an 8-year-old to show this level of talent was remarkable, he explained. Her understanding of color, composition, and emotional depth was extraordinary. I fell behind the group slightly and found myself standing next to Amanda. For once, she seemed at a loss for words. I had no idea, she finally managed. Why didn't you tell me Lily could? Would it have made a difference? I asked quietly. Would you have seen her differently if you'd known? Or would she still have been too rowdy for your perfect party? She flushed, watching as Lily expertly answered questions from art critics and local media. My daughter was in her element, her passion for art shining through every word and gesture. The party, Amanda started, then stopped. I should have. I smiled, gentle but firm. Yes, you should have. But this isn't about your party anymore, Amanda. This is about Lily, and if you'll excuse me, I need to go congratulate my daughter on her extraordinary achievement. As I walked away, I heard Helen say to her daughter, sometimes, Amanda, the most well-behaved children are the ones you never bothered to understand. The exhibition lasted well into the afternoon, with Lily receiving numerous accolades from art critics and collectors alike. Several of her pieces were marked for inclusion in upcoming youth exhibitions at prestigious galleries. All the while, Amanda hovered at the edges of the crowd, her perfectly planned party schedule clearly forgotten. As Lily finished her final interview with a local arts reporter, Emma burst through the gallery doors, still wearing her party dress. Lily, Sarah, she cried out, running toward her cousins. Why didn't anyone tell me? This is so amazing. Behind her, James followed, looking slightly harried. She insisted on coming, he explained. Wouldn't start her party until we brought her here. Emma was already dragging her cousins around the exhibition, demanding to hear the story behind each painting. This is way better than some boring old party, she announced loudly, making several adults hide their smiles. Amanda appeared at James's side, her carefully maintained composure slipping. Emma, honey, our guests are waiting. Can't Lily and Sarah come to the party now? Emma pleaded. Please? Lily's like a famous artist. Everyone would want to meet her. The irony of the moment wasn't lost on anyone. Amanda's face flushed as she realized how many people were watching this exchange. I stepped forward, saving her from having to respond. That's sweet of you, Emma, but Lily has interviews scheduled with 2 more galleries this evening. Being an artist comes with responsibilities. Oh, Emma's face fell slightly, then brightened. Can I come to those instead? Please, Mom. I want to stay with Lily. Amanda looked from her daughter's pleading face to Lily's artwork and then back to me. Something in her expression shifted, as if she were seeing us, really seeing us, for the first time. The party can wait, she said quietly, or maybe we could move it here? If that's allowed, she glanced at me uncertainly. Helen stepped in smoothly. I'm sure the Arts Center would be happy to host a celebration for both our talented girls. After all, families should support each other, shouldn't they, Amanda? The pointed comment wasn't lost on my sister-in-law. She nodded, looking genuinely contrite for perhaps the first time since I'd known her. Within an hour, Amanda's elaborate party had been relocated to the Arts Center's elegant reception area. The ice sculpture looked oddly at home among Lily's paintings, and the children, all of them, rowdy or not, played together while the adults admired the artwork. Later, as the evening wound down, Amanda approached me while I was helping Lily carefully pack up some of her pieces. Kate, she began, then stopped, seemingly struggling with her words. I was wrong. About so many things. I continued wrapping Lily's paintings, letting her find her way to what she needed to say. I spent so much time trying to create perfect moments, she continued, that I missed the real ones happening right in front of me. Your girls, they're extraordinary. Not because they're perfectly behaved or socially polished, but because they're passionate and real. I looked up at her, seeing genuine regret in her eyes. They're just children, Amanda. All of them are. Even Emma doesn't need crystal champagne flutes and ice sculptures. She just wants to be with her cousins. Amanda watched as Emma, Lily, and Sarah huddled together over Lily's sketchbook, giggling as she drew quick caricatures of the party guests. Do you think? She hesitated. Do you think Lily might give Emma art lessons? She's been begging for them, and after seeing Lily today, I smiled, remembering all the times Amanda had dismissed my daughter's interests as unimportant. I'm sure she'd love to. Though I should warn you, art can get messy. There might be spills, scattered supplies. Maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing, Amanda admitted. Our house could use a little life in it. As we drove home that night, both girls sleepy but happy in the backseat, I thought about how differently the day had turned out from what any of us had expected. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about rising above and showing people what they refused to see. Mom? Lily's tired voice came from the back. Did you see Aunt Amanda's face when that art dealer wanted to buy my sunset painting? I chuckled. I did, sweetheart. I did. Do you think she'll let Emma come paint with me now? I said carefully, your Aunt Amanda learned something important today. Sometimes the most beautiful things come from letting go of perfection. Sarah yawned from her seat. Can I take art lessons too? Of course you can, baby. You can be anything you want to be, both of you can. Don't ever let anyone tell you differently. In the rearview mirror, I caught one last glimpse of the art center, its lights still glowing warmly in the evening darkness. It stood as a testament to what children can achieve when they're allowed to be themselves, messiness and all. And if Amanda's perfect house got a little paint on its pristine walls in the coming months, well, that would just add character.